Hello, guys and gals, and welcome to another Theorycraft episode. Today we are going to be looking at the Badgerine of the Star-Men. That's right, not to be confused with Wolverine of the X-Men. This is Badgerine of the Star-Men. So here we go, and we're going to take a look and see what we can do with Badgerine of the Star-Men. Well, as you could imagine, one of Wolverine's most iconic powers is his ability to regenerate any wound just almost instantaneously, right? Lop off an arm, the arm grows back, gets shot through the head, your brain grows back. Who needs extra brains? So one of the things that I've done is I've gone through the process of trying to figure out how we can maximize our regeneration to the utmost degree. And you might be asking yourself, well, how can you get your regeneration high enough? How can you get it so ridiculously good that your health is just going up like crazy? Well, there's a lot of ways that we can do this. There are, of course, abilities that the Paladin has, like Prayer, which will give you the ability to regenerate your HP. So right off the bat, we're definitely going to be putting 20 points into Prayer. That's a no-brainer. Unfortunately, because Prayer actually consumes mana, and because we don't actually want to run Prayer natively, we're not going to. So what we are going to do instead is we are actually going to run Meditation as our main ability, which, we don't necessarily have to put maximum points in Meditation, but because this is going to be our main goal in life, I believe we actually probably are. But we'll play around with that a little bit later. Basically, how it works, and I'll explain this as simply as I can. Prayer applies a heal over time. So when prayer is active, it will consume mana and it will heal you for 74, basically over the regeneration cycle. When you have prayer, it synergizes with cleansing and it synergizes with meditation. And these two will also apply their regeneration to you when they are in use. Through the use of an item known as the new sword called Plague, we are going to be able to actually have the cleansing aura on us all the time. So we don't necessarily have to worry about having that aura. So that aura is just going to be on us permanently from this moment forward, which means we will get the massive regeneration from the cleansing aura, which is, of course, really, 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 really sweet. However, we are also going to be running Meditation as our native aura to get an additional bonus, which will give us double the regeneration that we had before. And if we take a look at our panel, you'll notice that our replenished life says 32, which isn't actually correct because as of right now, we have 80 plus coming from just the Meditation aura. And as you saw, when I put on the cleansing sword, we had another 80 plus. So let's keep a running tally, shall we? And we're gonna leave it up on the screen so you guys can see it. All right, so here we go, up in the top corner. Let's make this a little bit bigger. So this is our current regeneration total. And as we are able to increase this, you know what? Let's abbreviate that to regen, so it's not taking up so much space. So regen total, we're gonna calculate this out, and as we go forward, we're gonna find out what our total is. But for right now, we need to actually put our points in so that we can, obviously utilize all the equipment because we have a lot of equipment and stuff that's not being utilized. We also have some other issues here, which is where I need to actually craft some items. So let me go grab my horadric cube real quick, because I did, in fact, forget to grab one. And I think the easiest way we can do that is to go and kill, if you guys don't know this, easiest way to get your cube, if you don't have one, is to go and kill the normal difficulty council. Not actually go and get the cube. This is actually kind of weird. But if you don't have a cube and you kill the council, normally the council will drop a cube. It's kind of an oddity of the whole thing. And let's see if I can demonstrate this, shall I? So one of them, I can't remember which one, should drop me a cube. No cube? It might be because I've already completed the quest. I think that's probably what it is. A normal difficulty circlet. But if you have not completed the quest for the cube, which I think is exactly why it's not giving it to me, because I literally have the quest already completed. If you have not completed the quest for the cube and you go to the council and you kill them, it will drop you a cube. It's part of the way that works. I'm not going to make you guys watch me go and grab my cube, so I will pause it and I'll be right back. Okay, so cube in hand, we're going to have to do a little bit of crafting. So this is something that I had put into plan beforehand. And basically what this is I'm going to be crafting blood boots. I did some research and I could not find any boots, really, that were of any particularly good quality for any kind of regen build, neither with plus to skills nor with regeneration. And the only boots that I could come across that actually did have regeneration were blood boots, which are the battle boot craft. Let me go ahead and grab a couple pairs of battle boots. There we go. It could be also be mirrored boots, but mirrored boots have a much higher strength requirement. I'm not really too super excited about that. So it's a ruby, a jewel, and a ethrune, and you craft up some boots. And as you can see, I've got replenish life plus 12 with 30% faster run walk. That's actually pretty sweet. I like that. We're going to craft up a couple pairs, though, and we're going to take the best of the lot, essentially. So once we have a certain number crafted, we'll be like, okay, we'll compare them. We'll go through the process of seeing which one was the best. Although that plus 12 is actually kind of sweet. You know what? Let's go ahead and just put in just enough strength so we can equip those. And they actually spawned with 30% faster run walk too, which is nice. No resistances really to speak of. Well, I mean poison, but meh. And let's go ahead and craft up a couple more pairs. I got enough runes for at least a couple crafts, so you know, I figured I might as well just go ahead and craft them, and then if I end up with something nicer than those, I'll put them on. But plus 12 with 30% faster run walk is certainly a nice little combo. I'm not going to say no to that. I need the light plates, not the greaves. There they are. And I'd like to get the blesseds, or the battles, or the mirrors if I can. Oh, there's a pair of mirrors. There's a battle. Oh, there's battle. Okay. So that's 3 more crafts. That's exactly what I was looking for. Oh, I need one more. I'm not even going to look at them. I'm just going to craft them, and we'll compare them in a minute. All right, one more craft, and then we've got our maximum number here. I mean, I could have gone on for days crafting these and got like the most perfect pair of blood boots. And in fact, if you were going to do this build, you certainly could do that. You certainly could take the time. And oh, those are actually oh, there we are. No. All right, there we go. There's our last pair. Alright, so let's compare these real quick. Let's get an idea of whether they're better or not. So these have Replenish Life 12 with 30%. These are Replenish Life 6 with 30%. Not really better. I'm definitely going to keep the ones I have on. These are Tri-Res with Replenish Life 7, no run walk. So we'll throw those away. 20% faster run walks with plus 10 and 2% lifesteal. It's not better, but it's, yeah, we'll just throw those on the ground too. And then 3% life steals with plus 6. So it looks like these are the best ones. I didn't compare these either. All right, so we're keeping the 30% with 12 replenish life. And of course we have the Verdungos, so we need enough strength to wear the Verdungos. We also need enough strength to use the Gurk's Sanctuary. And enough strength to utilize the Corona. Now we don't necessarily know whether we're going to use the Corona yet. I'm not 100% sure on this. There's a couple options. Let me show you the options that I've got. All right. So right off the bat here, we have Steel Shade Armet, which does have 18 replenish life, which is pretty massive. It also comes with a little bit of fire absorption and mana steal, which is definitely very nice. And it does have pretty good defense. We also have Hwanen's Splendor, which has Replenish Life 20, which is definitely the highest of the lot. And if socketed with a Dole Rune, would give us an additional 7, which means we would have a total of 27 Replenish Life on the Steel Shade Armet. The Hwanen's Splendor. And then the Steel Shade could also be socketed with a Dole Rune, going from 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and then 25. So 25 versus 27. I think, honestly, that the Steel Shade Armet might be the best choice at 27 or 25, just simply because it has it does have the Mana Steal and the Fire Absorption, whereas the Hwanen's Splendor doesn't really have a whole lot to offer other than maybe like the MDR and the cold res. Not really 100% sure on these two choices. My other choice, of course, is the Crown of Ages. Now, the reason why I picked the Crown of Ages is because it does have plus to skills on it. So it comes with Replenish Life 14 because I put 2 Dole Runes in it. So because it has 2 sockets, that's the reason why. And then the +1 to skills does in fact give +1 to prayer, which beefs up the aura by a tiny bit. So if we take a look at the prayer aura, we are currently at 53. So 1 plus to skill would bring us from 53 to 53.3. So not a huge bonus. I think I actually calculated this out, and it comes out to 4. So every plus to skill is essentially 4 when it's doubled by the cleansing and the meditation. So we're talking about 14 plus 4, which is, of course, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we got 18 regen on the Crown of Ages. We have 20. In fact, you know what? Let's just go ahead and dole these up, shall we? We got 25 on the Steel Shade Armet, and then we have 27 on the Hwanen's Splendor. So a nice little combination of items here. For the amulet, I also had a similar situation. So we have an amulet with +2 fire skills, +10 replenish life, and then we have the Seraph's Hymn, which is +2 and +2 for defensive. So we get an additional 4 points into prayer, which gives us a nice little bonus to the regeneration of prayer. So I think we're probably going to stick with Seraph's Hymn just simply because of the massive regeneration potential there. It really is a lot of regen coming from Seraph's Hymn, just in general. Just the plus to skills is massive. I'm not sure about the Rising Sun. I brought it with me just in case, but that was another thing. So we also have another option here, which is between Chains of Honor and the Skin of the Flayed One. So the Skin of the Flayed One has a native regeneration, which is really high, and adding a Dole Rune into it brings it up to 32 regen, which is just massive. The Chains of Honor also has regen on it of +7, which isn't too absolutely terrible, and it does, of course, come with the all resistance to 65, which it doesn't seem like I need. That's the really interesting thing here. If you look at my character is already at 75, 70, 70, 75, which is pretty high on the resistances, and I am in Hell difficulty. So it's kind of interesting to choose between the two. Now, of course, not having the +2 to skills on this does mean that I'm losing out on a little bit of the prayer bonus, but I am gaining a really huge amount of regen here. I'm not really sure if it's going to be worth it. Like I said, each plus to skill that I can tell is essentially worth 4 replenish life, 4 prayer, when used in the combination that I'm currently using it in. So essentially, I'm missing out on 8 replenish life from the armor, but the Chains of Honor technically has 8 plus 7, so you're looking at obviously 15. So 15 all resistant, or 15 replenish life versus 32. So there's definitely a strong contender here between the two. Obviously, I get a lot of very nice bonuses like lifesteal, but the Skin of the Flayed One also has lifesteal. I also get the plus 20 strength, the all resistances, the damage reduced by. But then, of course, I also get the... oh, I forgot this has repairs durability on it. You know what I could have done? I could have gone with an F upgraded Skin of the Flayed one. That's an interesting... you know what? Let's take a look at that, shall we? Because the defense on the F upgraded Skin of the Flayed one might overshadow the defense on the Archon play, the Chains of Honor. We're talking about what? Like upgraded to the highest version with F, probably around like 2K. I would say around 2K defense. Let's go check that out real quick, shall we? Alright, so I went and I grabbed an ethereal Skin of the Flayed run, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to upgrade it real quick. Didn't think this was going to be an upgrading video, but we're going to need a Lem, a Co, and a Perfect Diamond. And we're going to upgrade this bad boy to its perfect form, which is going to be the Scarab Husk. So it goes to 1809 in its upgraded form. Pretty darn sexy, in my opinion. 1809 is a lot of defense, and that's definitely better than what we had. And of course, we can now put another Dole Rune in there to bring it up to 32. Alright, so let's put the Chains of Honor on the back burner for now. We may want to put that on for an overprotection versus our, just general resistances. Because, sometimes that's kind of how it works, is you wanna do things like that. I also have a Mercenary, by the way. So before I forget about everything that's going on here, I also kind of figured that I would want a Mercenary of a specific tier. And basically what I did is I chose a Mercenary to complement my Regeneration build to give me, of course, more Regeneration. You might be asking what I did. Well, I got a Prayer Merc. So Prayer actually stacks with Meditation and Cleansing. And I can't run Prayer on my character because there's nothing that gives me a Prayer aura. So I'm adding in Prayer on top of that. Now, to get myself the highest level Prayer possible, I've given my Mercenary all plus to skill equipment. He has the Chains of Honor, which is, of course, plus 2 to skills. He has the Andariel's Visage Demon Head, which is, of course, plus 2 to skills. And then he also has Ariok's Needle Hyperion Spear in the ethereal form, which is plus 4 to skills. So he has 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to throw a Burr Rune inside of his weapon here. So he's going to get a little bit of a very nice Crushing Blow, or it should have been Crushing Blow anyway. Did I put the wrong thing in here? I don't even see it on the list. I don't even see the effect of that the Burr Rune did on the list. Did I put the wrong rune in there? Did I put the Cham Rune in there? I put the Cham Rune in there. I am an amazingly smart individual, my boys. An amazingly smart individual. It's almost as if my brain is the massive size of a walnut. I'll be right back with a Hell Rune. The beautiful Hell Runes. If you guys have never used this before, it is the recipe to remove runes from items. It destroys the rune, by the way. Completely and utterly destroyed. Can't believe I put a Cham Rune in there. Burr Rune with the Crushing Blow. There. Alright, so let's start tallying this up, shall we? Tally forth. So, first off, right off the bat, we have 37 coming from the Mercenary, right? So we've got 37. Then, oops. Then we got to count the auras. So let's count the 2 auras. So right now we have a total of level 40 Prayer, which is 77 to all. Or 77 Regeneration, which of course goes to both of these. So we've got 77 times 2, which is, what, 140, 50 something? I don't even know. 77 times 2 plus 37 is... 191 is what we're currently at. 191. And that is, of course, just with basically our auras. The two auras of the cleansing, the meditation, and the merc. All right, so we've got 3 auras basically going that all have regeneration on them. Now let's tally up what our character panel says our regeneration currently is, which is 93. So we have plus 93. 191 plus 93 equals 284. So we've got 284 regeneration now. On our character total. And I think that's everything, right? So, oh wait, no, we're not quite done yet. I forgot I had the cube in my inventory. Let me stack on a little bit more here. And let me take this. This is the incorrect torch. There's the correct torch. Oh, I put it in my the wrong stash. All right. Let's redo this calculation since we messed it up. So we have 83 per. My bad. Not 77 per. Which is a difference of 12. I believe it's 12. Yeah, 154. 154 minus 166. So yeah, 12. So we're looking at a difference of 12 points. So let's add 12 points to 284. 4 plus 12 equals 296. So we are currently at 296 replenished life. Not bad. We could always bring this up just a little bit in terms of like plus the skills. I was thinking about that. Let me put on the Chains of Honor real quick. I just kind of want to see if the Chains of Honor functions differently. So instead, we're looking at 44 on the prayer, which is 89. So 89 times 2 is 178. I'm just going to run the numbers real quick just to make sure. So 178 plus 37 gives us 215. And then plus our regeneration stat, which is plus 68. So 283. So with the Chains of Honor, we do lose a tiny bit of regeneration from 283 to 296. So 296 is our total with the Skin of the Flayed one. And 283 is our total with Chains of Honor. And quite honestly, the overprotection that Chains of Honor provides us is certainly very nice. I'm not exactly 100% sure if it's viable or not. We could also go a little bit higher, I think, with Hawanan's Splendor Grand Crown, because it would bring us a little bit higher on the regen. But let's test and see what we've got going on right now, how this works out, and we're going to do that by basically letting ourselves get abused. That's the general gist of it. Just, you know, let our character get abused as much as possible.
I'll put that to good use.
Got a Chamroon for his helmet, so he cannot be frozen. And we still need to build his character, though. All right. So very quickly, let's figure out what skills he's going to be using. Now, I had originally thought that because I'm building prayer, I didn't really see any reason not to go kind of like deep into the synergies for prayer, because I already have max prayer, so why not? And I was thinking that one of the best ways to build this might be to go with a Holy Bolt Paladin. So if I were to max out Holy Bolt as much as possible, I would have a pretty decent Holy Bolt here. As you can see, as far as the healing goes, I'm now at 305 to 630, which is pretty impressive. Then I could also go down to Fist of the Heavens. cap out Fist of the Heavens so that I could spam Holy Bolts in the large array, which would be nice. And that, of course, is also going to beef up the individual damage of the Holy Bolts. So I'm doing 4,158 to 4,697 per Holy Bolt, which is pretty darn impressive. And then, of course, I could obviously also go into Holy Shield, max that out so that I have as much defensive capability as possible. And we're going to go ahead and throw Holy Shield on our button there. And then trying to think what else we could do to maximize our success here. We have 21 skill points left, and we could either use these to perhaps beef up the damage portion of Holy Bolt, or I was also thinking an interesting way that we could go about this is turn this into a Holy Bolt / Smiter. We don't have any real faster cast equipment, so I don't really see going into the Hammerden side of things. I mean, we could probably do it, but it's not really going to work out super amazing. Although the Smite does sound like an interesting option, just simply so that we could apply damage quickly. I'm not really 100% sure here. I feel like these last couple points are kind of like whatever you would want to choose for them. So, like, maybe we could do a couple points into resist lightning. You know what? Let's split up these last points into resist lightning, resist fire, and resist cold to bump up our max reses so we get a little bit more defensive. This is a very defensive character after all. And then I'm trying to think which one we really want to have the most of because we only have 3 more skill points. So probably put 1 point into Defiance so that we get the defense bonus on the shield, and then we have to put 2 points in. It has to be 2. So lightning, fire, or cold. Lightning, fire, or cold. You know what? Let's do lightning. Yeah, lightning. And then we also have obviously a lot of hit points left over, but let's go ahead and recast our Holy Shield, get our max Holy Shield up, and then let's make sure that our dexterity is high enough to hit that 75% block chance, which it is. And then pump everything else into our vitality. So we're rocking a 2,090 life, which is pretty darn sweet, with a regeneration total of 296 regen. Which is kind of insane. A little bit insane. It's a lot of regen. We also have DR of 30%, which is pretty darn sweet. That, of course, comes from the Crown of Ages and the Verdungos, so just massive defensive potential here. We also have a really nice amount of MDR and PDR of 16 and 18, so most of the small damage that comes in is going to be just completely avoided. On top of that, we also have a pretty decent amount of stats. I mean, we've got Freezes Target, Open Wounds, we've got Deadly Strike. We could also throw in some Zeal in here too. I mean, why not? We could put Zeal on X perhaps, and then we could put Smite on Z so that we have multiple options here. And then let's go ahead and put Meditation on F2 so that we have that set. And you know what? Let's just go somewhere and let's get wailed on and let's see what happens, shall we? So the first place that we're going to go is we're just going to go to good old Eldritch. We're going to let him wail on us. We're going to see what kind of damage he can do to us, whether or not he'll be able to kill us at all or do anything to us, whether our HP will even drop. And don't worry, I have more extensive and more rigorous tests ahead of us. This is going to be an interesting day, to say the least. A very interesting day. Yeah, block that sunbeam that's coming in to kill me. So, no real challenge there from Eldritch. My HP didn't even go down. Let's go ahead and bump this up because I do feel like players 1 is probably not enough. So let's bump this up to players 8. Let's go to River of Flame. There's a lot more varied damage types here. Elemental damage, you know, physical damage, poison damage. Poison is going to be, I think, a big enemy of ours. But we do have the cleansing aura, which is going to be pretty darn sexy. Can our regeneration overcome like this kind of damage? Can we overcome it? I mean, our regeneration really is doing quite well. And you know what? Let's not just stand here like idiots. Let's fire off some bolts, shall we? So this is players 8 chaos. And my regeneration is actually doing kind of sick. I'm not going to lie. I feel like it's fighting pretty strongly against these champions. You know what? Let's throw out a couple Fist of the Heavens. Of course, I don't have any actual like lightning damage on the Fist of the Heavens, but my Holy Bolts are still doing pretty good. My Merc is hitting pretty hard, of course. You know, he's pretty well decked out. Where's my Holy Bolt at? I can, of course, also heal my Merc, which is another thing. So, like, in general, I could I could literally just Merc tank. Like, I don't think my Merc would ever die with me spamming, what, 305 to 630 Holy Bolts at him. I think one thing that I might want to tweak a little bit, perhaps, is just add in just a tiny bit of faster cast. Not exactly sure how I would do that, but it definitely could be useful to add in a little bit of faster cast. I mean, this was a pretty good experiment. There was a full group of Oblivion Knights just blasting at me. And in players 8, no less. And I feel like I just kind of walked right through them, so to speak. My regeneration was keeping up very, very well. And although my health did go down to about, what, 1,600? I didn't see it go any lower than 1,600. It was still, you know, it was up there. Like, and if I was in here actually attacking, I mean, of course I can switch between the two abilities. I feel like this ability is going to be way better in the group scenarios. You know, for having 850% mana regeneration, I definitely don't have very much regeneration going on, do I? Especially when they're stealing it all. Get over here, American. Do your duty. I mean, part of the beauty of this build is that well, while I am a massive regenerator of regeneration, I also have some other things going on for me, like poison length reduction. I have, you know, the curse reduction so that monsters cannot curse me for an extended period of time. I have the extreme amount of mana regeneration. I can also heal my Mercenary with this build really effectively. So, like, I could just stand here and spam heals on my Merc and let him do whatever he wanted to do. Honestly, and on top of that, I can damage them while I'm doing it. So if I position myself correctly, I can hit my Merc and the monster at the same time, heal my Merc and kill the monster, all in one nice little fell swoop. Now, granted, there's a lot of monsters in the game that are not undead or demons, and in those situations, you know, I'm stuck with a little bit lesser of a scenario. Let's get this character into some more fun little zones, shall we? So, let's see here. Oh no, my poor Mercenary died. Now I've lost some of my regeneration, which is very sad. I mean, the Holy Bolts are definitely dishing out the damage. I'm not, like, specifically built for the Holy Bolts, but they're you know, the Fist of the Heavens, but it's definitely dishing out the damage. I can certainly kill things in Players 8 without too much of an issue. And when inside of a situation like this, unfortunately, like, my mana is just drained to 0 from the little punks over here. I mean, I could switch to, like, sacrifice or something to get them out of the way. That's right, get out of my way, Stormcaster. I mean, I would assume that even spamming sacrifice, I would be completely unable to kill this regeneration. And it does seem like that's the case, is that my regeneration is just not going down at all. I was really hoping to get into, I don't even have enough for smite, do I? I do not. Not enough for smite, not enough for charge, not enough for anything, because I'm just getting spammed, which is sad, because I have the massive meditation, right? I mean, if I walk away for a little bit and get away from the sweater knitters, my mana will regenerate back. The sweater knitters. Yay, old knitters of sweaters. Now, the way that you could counter this, by the way, is to add more mana to your pool. The bigger your mana pool, the better the regeneration works as a general rule. Oh no, there's a potion right there on the floor. There's a potion. Alright, so I want to test this in a scenario that is a little bit more dangerous. As you could clearly see, I'm not dying. Okay? That scenario has not offered me any kind of challenge to my HP at this point. And I did have a theory that that was going to happen. And I prepared a little bit of a fun event as a backup. So what are we going to do? We're going to go and we're going to do Uber Tristram. So Uber Tristram is a very dangerous and very deadly zone. And for this reason, we're going to swap over to Chains of Honor. And the only reason we're going to do this is because we need to overprotect our resistances versus Mephisto's Conviction. And that should effectively keep us safe from the resistance issue. At least I think so, anyway. If it doesn't, I do have the... I'm trying to remember here. Or maybe I didn't prepare that. I must not have prepared that, actually. But it's no matter. If we can't do it, we can't do it. We're just going to have some fun, and we're going to play around with it. So we're going to go into the Ubers, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with the Ubers, shall we? So I need to go grab the horn. Let's see, the eyeball, the horn, and the brain. Horn, eyeball, brain. So what are we going to do? We're going to do players 1. And you might be asking yourself, well, why do players 1 specifically? And the answer to that question is because Uber Tristram is going to be a pretty difficult zone. And I don't want to just immediately toss him into the fire and see if he can survive. So we're going to give him a little bit of a cutting edge here. We're going to make it a little bit easy on him for now. And if he survives players 1, we're going to bump this up later, and we're going to see if he can survive anything higher. Of course, my Merc bit it immediately. And I'm going to switch to Fist of the Heavens. Ooh. Ooh. So not even in players 1 is the regeneration high enough to overcome the Ubers. Interesting. Well, I mean, it is kind of a difficult spot here. I mean, let's double check and see if my overprotection was enough. So my overprotection is not enough. That's the answer to that question. So with Conviction in the picture, of course I don't even have Cannot Be Frozen on this guy. With Conviction in the picture, my overprotection is not enough. So we're going to have to overprotect ourselves even more somehow. So let's see what we can do about that. Obviously, our regeneration is not going to be able to overcome a huge deficit in resistances. According to what I saw, my lightning resistance went down to 20%, which is why Mephisto was able to kill me with the lightning attacks. So how can I fix this? Trying to think of all the various items that I might have handy to try and fix a lightning resistance deficit. I'll have to do a little bit of research and come back. I'm sure I'll figure out something, though. I shall return. All right, so I did have a wisp projector sitting in my inventory, and unfortunately it does mean we're going to have to take meditation off because I can't seem to figure out any other way to break the lightning resistance. But we do have the resist lightning aura here, which we could either go one of two ways. We could do the resist lightning aura, or we could also do salvation, which I didn't actually put a point into. Let's see how it works with resist lightning aura, just to protect ourselves from that massive amount of lightning damage. And it looks like trying to see whether our regeneration can handle it. We also, have the added benefit of potions as well, which I didn't even really think about right off the top of my head. But, we could theoretically use a potion to bump up our regeneration for a short period of time, and they do kind of just stack on top of each other, which is pretty cool. So we will have a very interesting situation there of the ability to just add in a little bit more regeneration anytime we need it. Let me go ahead and grab these defensive charms. I forgot I put those in the stash. And we're just going to stand here. We're going to let these monsters wail on us. I really want to see how good this can potentially be. I mean, it's not really about whether we can kill things. I noticed that we were able to actually kill some stuff. We actually don't need the resist lightning on right this second, because Mephisto is not within range. He's not within range. All right, so let's switch back to the meditation for the moment so we get the extra regeneration. This is really what I wanted to test, because these monsters are they actually hit pretty hard, and I kind of wanted to see whether the regeneration could overcome the amount of damage that was being output by these monsters. Obviously, we're not doing, terrible. I'm sitting here letting them wail on me, and I'm not using any potions right now. Right now, we've got Uber Bale with Uber Bale's clone, several ghosts, a couple mages, a couple archers, skeleton mages, skeleton archers. We've got tentacles. We also have one undead lord over there who is firing fireballs at me and spamming fire. And, it's not terrible. I'm not dying. And I think my regeneration is managing to keep up with most of what's going on. They get some lucky crits every now and then, and I'm noticing that, the level that my HP is managing to sit at is fluctuating. Sometimes I go up into the 1400 and 1500 range. Sometimes I'm going down into the 12 or 1300 range. And it does seem like I'm slowly losing this battle. So over a long period of time, it does seem like I will eventually lose. Now, if I tap one potion, the one potion can assist the regeneration to the point where literally I can overcome pretty much any damage that they're putting out, which is pretty darn cool. And there are some ways, of course, where you could make this a little bit more tanky if you really wanted to. And on top of this, we're not attacking. So, if I were to be zealing, I have a feeling that with some zeal involved, maybe a little bit of lifesteal coming from, obviously, some other sources, maybe even if you threw in something like Drax and you did Smite, you could increase the amount of life regeneration that you have even further. Let me walk over here a little bit, because I keep thinking that Mephisto's aura is hitting me. Because every now and then I start dropping dramatically, and it makes me think that Mephisto kind of walked nearby. So I just kind of wanted to walk away a little bit and just double check and see if this would work. Now Drax, unfortunately, I don't think would be super great of an idea. And here, let me tell you why. Well, the Plague weapon has its own proc, which is an aura. And the proc from the aura is actually going to override the life tap on a regular basis. I came across this scenario a couple times. Basically what happened was I was trying to kill Uber Diablo, and I had the Plague weapon on, and I just put Drax on without thinking. And only putting Drax on with the Plague weapon, the Plague Sword would overwrite the life tap on the regular, and make it very difficult. There we go. We got some more fire monsters over here. I mean, one thing I could do is I could just put this on my main hand weapon here. I can also use, obviously, my Fist of the Heavens, which I think in here, Fist of the Heavens might actually work pretty darn well. Especially with all the undead and all the demons. I think the Fist of the Heavens would probably kill most of these guys with absolute ease. Obviously, it doesn't kill the main monster, the monster that you actually attack. It only kills like the subsequent smaller monsters like these guys. But it does a pretty good job of killing these guys, especially when it gets multiple holy bolts in a row. I mean, he's obviously just going to keep spawning them forever, so it's not like I would have to, you know, do anything about that. Can I actually kill these guys? I don't really know. Maybe. If I really just like went to town on Bale or something over here, maybe I could eventually kill him. I don't know. Those holy bolts are dishing out a lot of damage to Bale. I am noticing that. I think that's his clone. The clone is the one that's getting damaged a lot by the holy bolts. I mean, the fact that I've got no potions right now and I'm still alive, despite the fact that I'm in here just like tanking Bale, is two Bales actually, you know, because he does have his little clone. I mean, if I were to throw in a treachery armor for the pre-buff, that would take care of the overprotection of the resistances, and I might be able to tank Mephisto as well. I probably could tank Diablo. Oh, there's Diablo right there. Let's go play with him. What's up, Babablo? Ooh, okay. Well, that's a little much. I mean, you guys ain't killing me, but I mean, good job on the trying. You're doing it. You're hitting me pretty hard there, though. That's, I'm not gonna lie. Oh God, I'm in a prison. Oh no. Oh no! Don't, you better not murder the Badgerine, okay? The Badgerine doesn't like you. Go on from the Badgerine. I will zeal you all to death. Oh, and the Badgerine has finally died. Poor, poor Badgerine. Bagerine of the Star-Men has fallen. So one thing I'm thinking about here is that I could maybe swap over to the Steel Shade Armet, which does have fire absorption. I do notice that the fire seems to, like, counter the regen almost. You know, because obviously the fire is burning per second and the regen is coming up per second. And it kind of makes me feel like a little bit of the Steel Shade Armet might go a long way. Of course, I got to recover my body first before I can even... Oh, God. You little punks blocking the doorway. You guys think you're so hot. You guys think you're so hot. You little trolls. I'm gonna clear... Oh, there's Mephisto right there, too. Like, over Mephisto. Well, now that I'm dead... Let's try going up instead of down. Let's go up. No, they're like super around the portal. Super duper uber duper pooper looper around the portal. All right, well, I've got one more thing I want to test, so let's try out one more thing. I was supposed to get more keys than this, but I only got one set of keys, didn't I? I did only get one set of keys. That's okay. That's okay. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get Forgotten Sands. The only thing that I wanted to test was to see how well he did against, like, the Uber Duriel or something like that. That was actually my specifically the one I was thinking of was Uber Duriel. Let's go ahead and make one portal. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll get lucky. Oh, matron den. Ugh. That's like the worst one, too. I bet you that poison would, like, directly, just like absolutely directly counter my regeneration. I mean, I do have cleansing, but, you know, just off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure the cleansing is going to be pretty darn sick. Oh, yeah, let me grab my Merc, too, before I finish. This video has already been going for 50 minutes, and I want to finish it up here in just a minute. I really just wanted to test some of these Uber zones to see how well he really regenerated his health. I do feel like a CTA in here, like just to give him a little bit more health, could be nice. It would give him a tiny bit more regen from the +1 skill. It would give 4 more regen. And it would give him a little bit more health, which would give him a little bit more of a leeway. We need to find Lilith. That's what we need to do. Look here, punks. I don't got time for this. Go away. Send faster. The Jag gonna make you pay. Hey, look, some potions. I mean, as far as damage goes, I'm certainly capable of dishing out some damage. I mean, as you guys saw, even in Players 8 Chaos, I was still able to kill things relatively easily. I did have some issues with mana regeneration, which I do feel like could be solved relatively easily by adding in some more mana. Maybe even using a Soge instead of a Bull Kathos. You know, there's options. It's gotta be archers. Oh, these girls usually hurt pretty bad. I wonder what kind of damage they'll dish out to me. Support Emilio. Support. Emilio, support. You shall not kill my Emilio. He has really, really got to go. Going to get behind him and shoot him in the butthole with holy bolts all day. You cannot kill my Emilio. He is the greatest of them all. I'll use my heals on him and make you die. Oh god, Emilio, no. Emilio, no, it was Lilith. Oh god, here we go. You'll forgive me if I use a potion or two on Lilith. I do feel like Lilith is probably one of the few monsters in the game that a potion or two might be kind of important for. So, yeah, she hits really hard. I mean, granted, it is Lilith plus. Let's take out a couple of these guys so that it's not quite Lilith plus. Because, you know, if you are going to fight Lilith, you usually try not to fight her inside of a room full of other monsters. I mean, this is honestly even worse, in my opinion, than fighting Uber Duriel. Because Uber Duriel, although he probably does hit really hard, Lilith has the one thing that counters regeneration so very well, which is her massive poison damage. Alright, so we have cleared this zone, but unfortunately I am almost dead. Whew. I mean, one good thing that I'm noticing here is that despite the fact that my regeneration is maybe not enough to keep up with Lilith, it does almost directly counter her damage entirely, which is kind of amazing. And then on top of that, another thing that I'm noticing here is that I can run away for a very brief period of time. And then when I run away, I can just, you know, just come back. I'll be like, oh, okay. It's not a big deal, you know. I'm gonna run away real quick, and then I'll be back here in a minute. And literally, like in like 3 seconds of running away, even with like minimum health, my health goes all the way back up to full so freaking fast. It's ridiculous. I mean, if I were to throw in Drax and just be a smiter like this, I would never die. Like that. I mean, there's that. I would probably never die. Another thing that I could do, which I was thinking of, is I could potentially upgrade the Gurk's Sanctuary Pavis so that it has more defense. It would up the strength requirement quite a bit, but I do need 174 to wear the Crown of Ages anyway. So I would get a little bit more defense out of the Gurk's Pavis and a little bit more smite damage too, because the smite damage does go up on the Gurks for adding that in. And then, I don't know. Like, obviously I'm not dying. This is Players 1 Lilith, and I'm not specifically dying. But I'm not specifically doing very well in terms of damage. I would definitely need some kind of crushing blow added in here. I'm not exactly sure what you could use to replace for the crushing blow. Maybe, you know, my gloves aren't specifically any purpose other than just simply, you know, they were just the gloves that I chose. I could be using blood gloves or something. Blood gloves would have 10% crushing blow, which might be enough to kill Lilith eventually. But you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this for a second because I have been going for almost an hour. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to kill Lilith. And right when Lilith is about to die, I am going to switch over so that you guys can see Lilith's death. And that's about it. So I'm not sure what happened, but I guess a series of lucky crits on Andariel's part probably ended my life. It seemed like I was doing just fine up until a certain point. My health was never going down, but then it was like, you know, she got a couple good crits in here and there, and as the crits seemed to pile up, my HP seemed to diminish more and more and more. And I couldn't help but wonder if it was just right there on the cusp of being you know, like just not enough regen, because it was so very close. And I think what it comes down to is the crit poisons, because she did eventually crit poison me, and I could tell that the poison was a little bit more aggressive than normal. But my cleansing aura was bringing down the duration of the poison by quite a bit, and it was making the crit poisons wear off much quicker. But the thing is that when you're in a battle like that, where you're literally relying on your regeneration to make up the difference between, you know, life and death, a little bit of crit poison goes a long way. I mean, this was an interesting video, and I'm certainly not sad with how things turned out. He is a regenerating monster. He does, of course, have just absolutely amazing ability to, you know, survive. Quite honestly, in most situations that count, he can literally just stand there and laugh at most of the monsters that are near him. Even in Players 8. I mean, let's just one last time, let's do Players 8 Eldritch. And, you know, let's grab a couple potions just in case. And, brink, brink. Main problem I seem to have is mana consumption, which is silly. Very silly since I'm running meditation, like, full time. One more time into the breach, fellows. Let's go ahead and let him surround us quite nicely. I mean, as you can see, Players 8 Eldritch, I'm completely, essentially immune to all damage. And, I mean, if you were trying to make the most godlike tank in the universe, I mean, this might be it. I'm not 100% sure. Like, I feel like this guy is super duper 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 tanky. Not only is he tanky, but he just regenerates any damage that is done to him almost instantaneously. Like, you see his HP go down, but then his HP goes right back up. I mean, I could probably do the same thing in Shank's zone too, which I think even has more enemies. There you go. Now I'm amp damaged, and I don't even think that's gonna do very much. My defense is 11,870. Oh, fire archers. That's good. Okay, let's Let's stand right here. Let's let the fire archers wail on us. Let's get these guys in here. Shank, let's get him in here. Let's really let him wail it on real quick, just for. You think Wolverine does this? You think he just like goes outside and is like, "Watch what I can do," and slices off his hand and then watches his hand grow back? I mean, because that's basically what I'm doing, right? I'm just standing here letting the monsters kill me. Like, come on, you guys can do it. Come on, you guys can kill me. Come on. Hey, look, it's an Ort rune. Ort. For those of you who are in on the joke. Well, I don't really think there's much more to test here. I am interested in your thoughts, though. What do you think about this build? I mean, do you think it has any kind of viability in the actual game world? Do you think the character could potentially work if built slightly differently? I mean, instead of going the Holy Bolt route, you could potentially go a Smite route and just be a super regenerating smiter. You don't necessarily have to use all the pieces of equipment that I used. I used them because they were obviously the best in terms of replenish life. You also don't have to use Dole runes and everything. You could tone down the regeneration a little bit. You could maybe go with, just a slightly lower regeneration. I'm not exactly sure what level you might want to be at. It's interesting, though, that eventually we just... all the monsters just died. I just outlived them, basically. Bagerine of the Star-Men. That's right. Bagerine of the Star-Men, my boys. Bagerine of the Star-Men. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.